Remember where you started. Something has happened. Don't make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. May his name be glorified. This is Narrow Gate, where Jesus himself, he is the reason, and his faithfulness is our confidence. Get away from me, you Satan. Get away from me. Jesus did not say this to an unbeliever. Jesus did not say these words to a pagan. Jesus did not say this word to someone who opposes him. Jesus said these very words to a person who loved him. Get away from me, you Satan. Get away from me. In the book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 23, this person loves him more than anyone around him or anybody around him. This person loved Jesus so much that he was even ready to die for Jesus. But despite his efforts, he had good intention according to human standard. According to human standard, this guy was not doing or did not do anything wrong. He was doing the right thing in the eyes of men. But in the eyes of God, he was not doing the right thing. Instead, he was doing the opposite. Instead, this person thinks he was going north, but in the eyes of Jesus, he was going south. Does it sound familiar? That's why sometimes when people are praising us, we should ask ourselves, is God also praising us? Or sometimes when people are trying to destroy us, criticizing us, gossiping about whatever we do or whatever we say, we should ask ourselves, is God also saying ill about us? Get away from me, you Satan. Jesus said it to nobody but Peter. Peter, his right-hand man. And in the eyes of Peter, he was doing everything right. Let's go, if you go to the preceding verses, that is Matthew chapter 6, I'm talking about verse 23, where Jesus said, get away from me, you Satan. If you go to the verse 20, Matthew chapter 6 verse 20, the Bible says Jesus called his disciples and he was explaining to them how they were going to Jerusalem, how he was going to be arrested, how he was going to be handed over to the elders of the church, the high priest, and he will be killed. And according to the Bible, Peter grabbed Jesus. Let me paraphrase it and say, Jesus, I need to have a conversation with you. He grabbed Jesus and he took him aside and he rebuked Jesus. You cannot perform when you are dead. In fact, we need you alive in order to preach this gospel. Jesus, I don't want to hear you saying about your death again. You are not going to die. We're going to do this job together. Jesus looked him in the face. Get away from me, you Satan. Wow, that's a hard response. What was Peter's reaction? Get away from me, you Satan. Because of Peter's reaction, that is why we have the church today. That is why I'm sitting here today. That is why you are being saved today. Peter did not walk away. Peter stayed. Peter stayed. Even though he was trying to do his very best, his best was not appreciated for a moment. You are going through the same thing. That thing sounds familiar to you. Sometimes we quit so soon, and which is the easiest way to do. If we think that the marriage is not working, we should pack our stuff and leave. That is the easiest thing everybody can do. You have to endure sometimes. And someone will ask me, how long should you endure? You just need to pray for grace, for endurance. If the grace of endurance is not there, you cannot endure on your human capacity. So pray that God will give you endurance. You have to go through tests. You have to go through trials. And it happens in marriages a lot more than we think. So please, let's learn from Peter. Get away from me, you Satan. Maybe you are receiving more than that. But because Peter stayed, the gospel is being preached all over the world. Because Peter stayed, we have the church of Christ today. He became the rock. He became the foundation. He became the lieutenant of Jesus. Because he stayed. He did not piss off and walk away. Because Jesus said that to him, even though he was trying to do his best. Stay. and you will see the provision of God, and you will become like a lighthouse. Thank you for listening to me. I wish you all the best. I know you are going through a lot in relationship. Sometimes it can be very challenging, but with God, all things are possible. My prayer is that your hand will be strengthened to be able to accommodate all the temptations, all the trials, so that at the end of it all, we will say, I've fought a good fight, I've finished the race. May His name be glorified. This is Narrow Gate, where Jesus Himself, He is the reason, and His faithfulness is our confidence. Thank you for watching me, and I will see you again. I love you with the love of God. Bye-bye.
Oh my God.
He's able, he's able, he's able, he's able, he's able, he's able. He gon' make a way for you.